Good afternoon and welcome along to the Commentary Ups coverage of this big Manchester derby in the Premier League. It's Manchester City against Manchester United. Kick-off is at 4:30 at the Etihad Stadium. Before we get the kick-off and the team changes, any team changes for both sides, I'll just bring you up to date with what's happening in the Championship this afternoon, where it's currently Norwich City 1, Burnley 0. Cordoba, after just 2 minutes on the clock, then Egan Rally almost scored an own goal if it wasn't for James Trafford. Burnley have been second best for me in this game this evening, and our friend on the channel, JB John Stuttard, is an avid Burnley fan, and he is wanting Burnley boss Scott Parker to be sacked if they do not pick up all 3 points. Then so far it doesn't look like that will be the case. West Bromwich Albion fell to a 2-1 defeat against Watford in the Championship earlier on today as well. We'll bring you the early Premier League score in just a moment, but first let's get you to the team news and the all-important team changes for this afternoon's game in the company of your main commentator Paul James.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, James. Good afternoon, Ross. I hope you're doing very well today. City have welcomed back Ederson in goal, so Stefan Ortega drops back to the bench. Jeremy Doku steps in for Savinho, and Phil Foden comes in for Rico Lewis as Pep Guardiola makes 3 changes to the 2-2 from the 2-2 draw with Crystal Palace last week and adopts a new 3-2-4-1 formation. For Manchester United, Ruben Amorim, it's his first Manchester derby. He adopts a 3-4-3 system using wing-backs and has made 3 changes. Lenny Yoro steps aside for Harry Maguire. Kobe Mainoo steps aside for Mason Mount. And Alejandro Garnacho is suspended and Nusrat Mazraoui steps in for him. So 3 changes for each team for this all-important Manchester derby, Ross.
Thank you very much there, Paul. We'll be back with Paul ahead of kick-off for this game this evening. Myself, Paul will be joined alongside Nicholas Jones a little bit later. Nick will be with us shortly to give his thoughts ahead of this Manchester derby. Let me just bring you the earliest score in the Premier League this afternoon, where Brighton Hove Albion fell to a 3-1 defeat against local rivals Crystal Palace. Trevor Chalobah, Ismail Assar put Palace into a 2-goal lead before Munoz had a goal disallowed through VAR for a foul on 67 minutes. Then on 82 minutes, Ismail Assar grabbed his second of the game, set up by Eddie Nketiah. So 2 goals and 1 assist for Ismail Assar at the Amex, with Mark Gitty getting an own goal on 87 minutes for the only goal for Brighton in the Premier League this afternoon. 2 evening kickoffs in the Premier League today. Chelsea against Brentford is a 7 o'clock kickoff, as is Southampton against Tottenham. We'll keep you bang up to date with all that. We have got some Women's Super League action today. Everton 2, Man City 1, Aston Villa 3, West Ham 1, Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 1, and Liverpool 0, Arsenal 1 is the result there in the Women's Super League. Women's Championship, Bristol City 5, Durham 0. Birmingham and Charlton played out a 0-0 draw earlier on today. London City Lionesses 3, Southampton 1, and Sunderland 2, Portsmouth 2 as well. And just as I say that, when I say those scores in the Championship, Women's Championship, I can tell you there's been a goal in the Men's Championship, 68 minutes on the clock, and Zion Fleming is levelled for Burnley away to Norwich City. It was a free kick which was given for Burnley about 25 yards out, set up to Fleming, who lashed a shot from long range into the top corner. Fantastic free kick, caught everyone off guard, and a fantastic goal by Zion Fleming to draw Burnley level at Carrow Road. 68 minutes on the clock there. It's Norwich 1, Burnley 1 in the Championship, in the Men's Championship. In the Women's FA Cup, 3 matches there today. Ipswich 1, Bournemouth 0, Oxford United 2, Bristol City 3, and Kidderminster 0, Blackburn Rovers 4 was the result there, as Burnley are starting to begin to get on the front foot now at Carrow Road in that game. I've got my eyes on that one this afternoon. I was just say a very good afternoon to Chris Manchester Derby, and he win it against for United. And he says, the media radio jingles again. He says, "Good afternoon, Russ, Paul, and Nick. It'll be interesting to know who wins this Manchester Derby this afternoon." And he will certainly indeed. We'll just fetch Nick in for a quick second. And Nick, you can see the teams on our screen there. Can I just ask you for a score prediction for this one? Do you reckon Ruben Amorim will get a victory for Manchester United today against Pep Guardiola and Manchester City?
Yes, good afternoon, Russ. It's difficult to say, right? It's difficult to say right now. He hasn't had the easiest of starts in the Premier League as manager, but Manchester City aren't faring too well either. Only one win in their last 10 matches in all competitions. I wouldn't actually be surprised if it's either 0-0 or 1-1. But in terms of an outright winner, I'd probably say Manchester City, though not by much.
Thank you very much. Then Nicholas will be handing over now to your match commentary team ahead of kick-off. The kick-off very much fast approaching. Let's hand you over to your match commentary team, Nicholas Jones. But first, Paul James.
Thank you, Ross. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you're listening to in the world, to this 195th Manchester Derby. Well, Nick, the first job, as usual, is to go through the two teams, starting with Manchester City, who are adopting a 3-2-4-1 formation. As mentioned earlier, Ederson returns in goal. Number 24, Josko Gvardiol. Number 3, Ruben Diaz. And number 2, the captain, Kyle Walker, adopt a back three system for Manchester City. 19, Ilkay Gundogan. 20, Bernardo Silva are the two holding midfielders. 17, Mateus Nunes. 47, Phil Foden. 17, Kevin De Bruyne. And 11, Jeremy Doku are the four attacking midfielders behind number 9, Erling Haaland. For Manchester United, well, Ruben Amorim, his first Manchester derby. It's a real test for him today. 3-4-3 with wing-backs, and Andre Onana, despite the errors he made against Nottingham Forest, maintains his position in goal. Number 6, Lisandro Martinez. 5, Harry Maguire. And 4, Mateus de Ligt to the three centre-backs, with number 20, Diogo Dalot, and number 3, Nusayr Mezraoui as wing-backs. The captain, Bruno Fernandes, wearing number 8, and number 25, Manuel Ugarte, are the midfielders, with number 7, Mason Mount, 9, Rasmus Højlund, and 16, Amad Diallo making the front line. The substitutes for Manchester City, Stefan Ortega back on the bench again, John Stones, Jamal Simpson-Pusi, Mateo Kovacic, Jack Grealish, Divan Mbama, Nico O'Reilly, James McAtee, and Savinio lay out a very talented substitutes bench for the hosts. For Manchester United, Altay Bayindir continues to wait his turn. Victor Lindelof, Tyrell Malacia, Lenny Yoro, Christian Eriksen, Casemiro, Kobe Mainoo, Joshua Zirkzee, and Anthony are the substitutes for Manchester United. The referee today is Anthony Taylor. He's age 46. He's from Wythenshawe in Greater Manchester. On the lines are Gary Beswick and Adam Nunn. The fourth official in Tim Robinson. And by God, if we need it, Stuart Atwell and Simon Bennett are in Stockley Park. Well, the two teams have met each other 194 times in all competitions. Manchester City have won 62, 53 draws and 79 defeats. And 31% win ratio for Manchester City in this Manchester derby. Only in recent years have they started to take any control of this fixture at all. And with one win in 6 league games, Nick, this could be a very big challenge today for Manchester City.
Yes, it certainly could, because as I alluded to earlier, they haven't been faring too well as of late.
Well, that is indeed the case. The two sets of players just doing their final preparations. Manchester City in their famous sky blue shirts, white shorts and blue socks. Manchester United are commonly in this fixture wear their red shirts but with black shorts and white socks. And the referee, Anthony Taylor, who is actually from Greater Manchester, is going to get the players together to get this game underway. This really is a festive cracker The 195th Manchester derby, a fixture steeped in so much history. Manchester City are going to get us underway, attacking the goal to our left here at the Etihad Stadium, and it goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, Ederson, and he clears left-footed downfield. It's long. Heads go up by Haaland. It just bounces down. Doku trying to win it, but nipping in there is Diallo with a fine challenge. And it's cleared away here by De Ligt, but only as far as Phil Foden. Foden drops the ball back there to Núñez, and Núñez gives it back to Josko Gvardiol, who goes all the way back to the goalkeeper. We'll keep you updated on the scores elsewhere as well, as here is Núñez again for Manchester City, as they're trying to start brightly here are the citizens. It's dropped back into their own half there to Kyle Walker, the captain. Across to Diaz. And here's Núñez again. He's got Doku alongside him. Doku just skips away from Mazraoui. Doku drops the ball back to Núñez one more time and gives the ball to Foden. Núñez again. Manchester City just getting comfortable on the ball early on here. Here's Doku down the left-hand side. Just turns there, gives the ball to Foden. And Foden drops that ball back there to Gvardiol. It's a good ball across there by Gundogan. Gundogan has found Kyle Walker. Walker to De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne drops it back into his own half, gives it back to Walker, who goes all the way back to the goalkeeper. And what we're going to see from Manchester City is what we usually see from them, I suspect, a very patient build-up. That ball by Ederson was cleared out to De Bruyne, but he was fouled by Diogo Dalla, and it's going to be a free kick to Manchester City. As early doors here, Nick, you can see a bright start for Manchester City.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. They're being very sensible, in my opinion. They're not taking too many chances just yet. Although Manchester United are looking to pressure them at the moment.
Here's Ruben Diaz. Just takes it over the halfway line. Drop down to Jeremy Doku. He's down this left-hand side here. He's just got in front of him Mazraoui. Mazraoui just being pushed back there by Doku. Doku drops the ball back to Diaz. Here's Ilkay Gundogan. Back to Doku again. Oh, Doku skips past Mazraoui. Can he get the cross in there? Oh, the referee has called the ball that Doku had ran the ball out of play. And it's going to be a throw-in. There is another goal at Carrow Road, and Burnley seem to have turned it around there. Norwich 1, Burnley 2. Josh Brownhill on 76 minutes, as that will be a stunner for the Canaries. It's not often that Burnley pick up anything at Carrow Road, so that's a very good result for them. Throw in for Manchester United, which Mazraoui takes quickly, just over the head of Rasmus Højlund, and it falls at the feet of Matheus Núñez. He's fouled, and it's a free kick now for Manchester City. It's taken quickly, and just on the ball right now is Kyle Walker. Walker goes for the long diagonal ball down the left-hand side, looking for Doku. Mazraoui reads that really well and just heads the ball down to his captain, Bruno Fernandes. He goes back to the goalkeeper, Andre Onana, cleared downfield. Not the best clearance. It just actually bounces off Gundogan, but does fall kindly for Manchester United. Here's Bruno Fernandes, sprays the ball across to Diogo Dalla. Just a little bit of a lack of movement from the Manchester United players right now. They're being forced back into their own half. And picked up the ball here by the number, well, I'm not quite sure who that was, but I actually just want to say that was Diogo Dalla. But here's Jeremy Doku, who just nips in to win the ball back, and Doku is fouled just as Diallo tried to steal the ball away there. It's a free kick, and here's Matheus Núñez. Núñez storming forward for Manchester City, down to Doku down this left-hand side. Corner of the penalty area for Doku, plays in for Núñez. Núñez drops the ball back to the edge of the area to De Bruyne. De Bruyne swings that ball towards the back post, and it's headed wide by Lisandro Martinez. He just gets in front of Erling Haaland really well there to close out the big striker. But you can see here that it was very clever play by Manchester City. Corner of the penalty area, just swung that ball towards the back post. But that is really good play by Lisandro Martinez. And we'll get Nick's thoughts after this corner. As the corner is going to be taken on the far side by Phil Foden. Foden goes short there to Doku. And it's back to De Bruyne. De Bruyne swings the ball in, but it's a poor ball, and it bounces off Martinez and breaks loose for Ilkay Gundogan. Really good play by Lisandro Martinez there, Nick. Really marshalling Haaland well there.
That was certain. Yeah, that's certainly good teamwork between Haaland and Martinez. But oh wait, sorry. But Martinez, he's putting Haaland under real pressure. Sorry if I got the two confused.
No, and the ball comes back here to Ruben Diaz. Diaz just gives the ball there to Ilkay Gundogan. Gundogan plays the ball short there, but Nunez nips in and just plays the ball calmly back to Walker. It's played forward to Haaland. Another good challenge by Martinez, who appears to be marshalling Erling Haaland today. Now, can Manchester United break out on the far side? It's Diogo Dalot now for Manchester United. And they're going the other way at great speed. Dalot plays the ball into the box, and Ederson just gets out there, plucks the ball out the air, drops it, but there was nobody really there challenging. And now City can come on the break, and it's hard, and it's Kevin De Bruyne. He just drops the ball back there to Walker. Here's Diaz. And Nunez now just over the halfway line for Manchester City. Here's Nunez. He drops the ball back to Gvardiol, across to Gundogan. He's dangerous from these positions. Gundogan, he plays the ball forward to Foden, but Foden is dispossessed, and Manchester United can come forward now just over the halfway line for Manchester United. It's Fernandes to Diallo. Diallo overlapping on the far side is Mazraoui. Mazraoui down the right hand side now as Manchester United trying to get themselves into this game and to create one or two chances against their City rivals. Here's Mason Mount. Good ball over on the far side from Mason Mount to Diallo. Walker tracking him. Diallo plays the ball back there. And it's Martinez across to Matthijs de Ligt. De Ligt to Diallo. Back to De Ligt. It's gone back into his own half as City have pressed Manchester United back into their own half of the field. And finally, Harry Maguire sends the ball back to the goalkeeper, Andre Onana. And here's Mazraoui. Oh, beautifully turns away from Gundogan there. Oh, but it's a poor ball by Mazraoui and only finds Josko Gvardiol. And now here's Kevin De Bruyne. Oh, that's just nipped in there, and play goes on. It looked like a foul on Ugarte, but the referee has allowed the game to continue. And here's Diogo Dalot, midway inside his own half of the field, gives the ball to Mason Mount. Mount just drops the ball back. We've had 7 minutes gone here. It's Manchester United 0, Manchester City 0, Manchester United 0. Nick, just give me your opinion of the first 7 minutes here.
First 7 minutes, Manchester City have been playing very defensively and very patiently. They haven't gone out all guns blazing. Although Manchester United are starting to breathe down their necks, I think.
Well, it's back with Andre Onana, and here's Matthijs de Ligt. He just gives the ball to Nusa Mazraoui. Mazraoui, good ball there across to Bruno Fernandes. He plays the ball forward, bringing this one down well is Rasmus Højlund. It's good strength by Højlund, fending off Ruben Diaz. Diallo tries to play the ball over the top, looking for Mason Mount, but that's a good piece of defending there by Kyle Walker, the captain for Manchester City. Kevin De Bruyne drops the ball back, is with Walker again, and he goes right back to the goalkeeper, Ederson, who clears left-footed downfield. And that's a good header that time by Matthijs de Ligt. It's now with Amad Diallo. He's challenging once again with the number 27, Matheus Nunes. It was a good challenge that time by Nunes and put the ball out of play. It's going to be a throw-in, almost level with the Manchester City penalty area down the right-hand side. Nusa Mazraoui is going to take this one. And it's back with Matthijs de Ligt. De Ligt holds the ball up. Plays it short to Bruno Fernandes. It's back to Mazraoui. Mazraoui plays the ball across. Oh, that's a really good interception that time by Ruben Diaz. And the ball is played over the top there by Fernandes. Across to Diogo Dalot. He's got Kyle Walker in front of him. Dalot cuts inside, swings across towards the back post, but nobody there. And it goes out of play. And it's going to be a goal kick. Patient build-up, Nick, by Manchester City. By Manchester United, but the end result wasn't there, was it?
No, No, it certainly wasn't. I think the Red Devils may have been a bit too patient.
Almost 10 minutes gone here, and it's back with the goalkeeper Ederson. Played short there to Gavardiol. Gavardiol back to the goalkeeper Ederson. Ederson plays it across there to Kyle Walker. Walker lifts the ball forward. He's looking for Kevin De Bruyne, but that's a really good interception by Ugarte. And Manchester United win possession back. And here's Matthijs de Ligt. Gives the ball to Mazraoui just over the halfway line, down the right-hand side. Back to the number 4, Matthijs de Ligt again. Long ball over the top. Picked up here by Diogo Dalla. Looking quite sharp down that left-hand side today. He drops the ball back there to Lisandro Martinez. Martinez back to Dalla, and here's Ugarte. Ugarte across the centre line. And here's Matthijs de Ligt now. He's got Mazraoui down the right-hand side. Mazraoui has already got Núñez approaching him. But here's Diallo inside the penalty area. Diallo cuts inside. Can he keep possession? Oh, good challenge there by the number 19 for Manchester City, İlkay Gundogan. But the official's flag goes up anyway. Very, very late. Let's take a look at this again. It was very tight. Actually, yeah, he just strayed by a yard or two. And the official's flag has come up. Well, thank you. We want to thank you very much for taking time out of your Sunday to join us today. We know this time of year is a busy time of year for everybody, so we want to thank you for you spending some of your valuable time with us to listen to the Manchester Derby today. We hope you're enjoying the coverage. Here is İlkay Gundogan. He gives the ball back to the goalkeeper Ederson, who lifts the ball forward to Matheus Núñez. Núñez just cutting back towards the centre circle, tries to turn away from Mazraoui, but Mazraoui gets his foot in there and puts the ball out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in. And already Joshua Zirkzee is out there warming up right now, along with Christian Eriksen, and Mason Mount is down. And this is his first Premier League start of the season, and he looks very, very frustrated, and well he might. It looks like a pretty unpleasant injury, that, Nick. He doesn't seem to be able to stand up. Kobe Mainoo stripping off as he may come on instead.
Yeah, that is just so unlucky for Mason Mount. No wonder he's so frustrated. He's had lengthy spells of injury in the past and also most recently. So no wonder he's being substituted. He is just so frustrated. He can't believe his luck.
Well, the Manchester United players just getting some instructions from Ruben Amorim, as Mason Mount is now back on his feet, but he's moving off gingerly, and an arm around his shoulder from Bruno Fernandes, and he looks devastated. And, well, you never wish injury on any player at all, regardless of how you feel about the club as a whole. You just don't do it, and he looks very frustrated. It looks like he's almost in tears there. And everyone at the commentary hub wishes Mason Mount all the best and a quick recovery. And hopefully he's wearing the red shirt again for Manchester United very soon. The substitute there coming on is Kobe Mainoo by the looks of it. So Mason Mount goes off and Mainoo comes on. So we may see an adjustment here. Maybe Mainoo will slip into Fernandez's position and Fernandez will move up to where Mason Mount was. But we'll see how all this plays out. And it's a throw-in to Manchester City, taken by Matheus Núñez, dropped back to Diaz. And here's Gundogan. Gundogan plays the ball across to Kyle Walker and across to Kevin De Bruyne. And De Bruyne over the halfway line just drops the ball back to Gundogan again. And it's Kyle Walker. Just over the halfway line to Gundogan, and now here's Kevin De Bruyne down the left-hand side. Plays the ball back to Gundogan. Gundogan holds the ball up, plays it across the middle there to Ruben Diaz, and Diaz plays the ball to Matheus Núñez. Núñez now down the left-hand side, the ball back again to İlkay Gundogan. Patient build-up by Manchester City, side-to-side passing. And here's Jeremy Doku now. Down the left-hand side, Doku just cuts inside, does Doku, but drops the ball back to Josko Gavardiol. Gavardiol right at the corner of the penalty area here for Manchester City. and is trying to get the ball back there from Doku to Nunes, and it's going to to Nunes, and it's going to be a free kick to Manchester City for the foul here on Jeremy Doku. He just collides there. Could also be for the challenge there on Josko Gvardiol, in fact. In either case, it's a free kick with 15 minutes gone for Manchester City from a pretty dangerous spot. It's taken short, in fact, and given to Doku. Now, can Doku get to the byline and get the cross in? He can. It's headed out that time. And it's headed out by Nusa Mazraoui, but the ball comes back for Manchester City. It's swung in again by Gundogan, but this is over everybody's head and out of play. And both sides have looked good going forward, Nick, but it's really been the final product so far in the first 15 minutes, hasn't it?
Yes, it really has. No one's willing to concede anything, despite both the sides wanting to go in front. That last effort by Doku was pretty good.
Well, just taking a look at Pep Guardiola there, he's won more Manchester derbies than any other Manchester City manager, 13 altogether. Here's Diallo now. The ball is played to Nusa Mazraoui down the right-hand side, but Josko Gvardiol comes back and marshals him and wins the ball back and clears it away. And it's picked up in the midfield here for Manchester United by the number 4, Matthijs de Ligt. And here's Martinez. Ball played forward to Fernandes, who seems to be holding that position he had at the start of the game. Fernandes plays the ball long, looking for Diallo. Super ball, but Diallo not able to control it, and Josko Gvardiol puts his foot through it. And it goes all the way back into the Manchester United half of the field, and Russ Vernon, our presenter and producer, says, sad to hear Mount going off for Manchester United. Wish for him a speedy recovery. I'm sure we all do. It's never pleasant when you've already had to fight injuries. You come back, you get to start in the Manchester derby, and you pick up another injury. That's really frustrating. Here's Doku. Doku tried to play the ball through to Haaland there, but that's really good work by Matthijs de Ligt, just reading that pass right away. And here's De Bruyne. Plays the ball to Foden. Corner of the penalty area. Left-hand side, it's Doku again. Just trying to get away from Mazraoui. Drops the ball there to De Bruyne. De Bruyne back to Foden. Foden with a cross. And the head up into the air there by Martinez. Once again, marshalling Erling Haaland very, very well. And here's De Bruyne. Gives the ball to Foden. Back to Nunes. Nunes just cuts inside there. And back to Foden now. Still down that left-hand side corner of the penalty area is Matheus Nunes. Holding the ball up there for Manchester City, and he drops it back towards the centre circle to Ruben Diaz, who plays the ball across to Kyle Walker, trying to tempt these Manchester United players away from the 18-yard box. It's still Norwich 1, Burnley 2 at Carrow Road. 6 minutes added on in that championship game. So we'll see how that finishes up. Russell inform us if there's any changes there. Throw in for Manchester City, taken by Kyle Walker to Ruben Diaz, just inside his own half. Over the halfway line to Matheus Nunes. Nunes now down the left-hand side to Jeremy Doku. Doku attacking the penalty area, and that's a good challenge by Nusa Mazraoui as Doku tripped over the ball there, but it's going to be a throw-in for Manchester City, level with the penalty area, which Nunes takes quickly and hands it off to Foden. Foden returns it back to Nunes. And now here is Gvardiol. It's Foden again. Gvardiol gives the ball across to Gundogan. Gundogan, Kyle Walker now joining the attack. Back to Gundogan. Back to Walker again. And here is Kevin De Bruyne, and De Bruyne plays it off a Manchester United player, Manuel Ugarte, and it goes out of play for... Actually, it came off Kevin De Bruyne last, much to his frustration. It's a throw into Manchester United. Here's Kobe Mainoo, loses possession of the ball, and here's Phil Foden now for Manchester City. And coming forward is Doku. He tried to play Erling Haaland through, but once again read well by the Manchester United defence. And it's cleared to Diallo. Diallo drops the ball back to Mazraoui. Mazraoui plays the ball to the centre circle to Bruno Fernandes. Outside of the boot pass to Lisandro Martinez. Martinez, Manchester United breaking forward in numbers. Here's Højlund in the penalty area. Højlund trying to turn the Manchester City defence. Drops it back to Fernandes, and here's Mainoo. Good ball by Martinez to Dalot. Corner of the penalty area, left-hand side. Back to Martinez again. Here's Fernandes. Oh, that's just nipped in and intercepted well that time by İlkay Gundogan. And maybe Manchester City can now create something. Here's Phil Foden. Foden drops the ball back to Kyle Walker, just on the edge of his own penalty area. Plays the ball across to Matheus Nunes. Nunes plays the ball forward to Kevin De Bruyne. He's got space in front of him as he storms over the halfway line. Kevin De Bruyne now, he's got Nunes alongside him, decides to go for Doku, who's been all over the field in this first half. Doku dropped back to De Bruyne, and it's Doku again, going to the byline, gets across towards the back post and headed away by Martinez, but only to the edge of the area for Foden with a shot, and it whistles just wide, and that's the closest we've come, Nick. A shot by Foden had the goalkeeper rooted to the spot. Close for Phil Foden there, Nick.
Yes, very, very close for Phil Foden. When he's at this angle, normally he puts one in, just not to be today.
Just chested the ball down really well there, but he just skewed the ball wide. The goalkeeper was beaten all ends up. If that was on target, that would have been 1-0, but it's wide of the target. And Manchester United will start again. They breathe again. 21 minutes gone. It's City 0, United 0. And that's Lisandro Martinez. Just plays the ball to Dalot under pressure from Bernardo Silva. And it's won back there by Phil Foden. And here's Ruben Diaz now. He's got options left and right. And here's Kyle Walker. Drop back again to Diaz. Diaz to Matheus Nunes. Nunes just holds the ball up to gives the ball to Doku down that left-hand side. Doku, oh, that's a fine challenge there by Mezraoui. And Diallo now has the ball over the halfway line. Tries to play it through to Rasmus Højlund, but nipping in well there and getting the ball back to the goalkeeper was Kyle Walker. And here's Ruben Diaz. And the ball is back now with the number 19, İlkay Gundogan. And here's Matheus Nunes. And Nick, so far early on, Erling Haaland has just been marked out of the game, hasn't he, by Lisandro Martinez and the rest of the Manchester United defence. He's not had a sniff, has he?
No, Martinez is doing a really good job for Manchester United to keep Haaland out of the way. I think Haaland's being treated like that boy at school in the playground who's been excluded from his main game.
Here's a chance for Foden. Foden with a shot, and it's blocked, and it'll go behind for corner to Manchester City. The second Manchester City corner of the game. The ball through here by Kevin De Bruyne. And then to Erling Haaland, to Foden, who just gave him a little bit of space, but the shot was blocked. But it's another corner for Manchester City. Let's see what they can do with it. And Haaland lurking with intent there. The ball is going to be swung in, cross coming in, and there's a header, but it's over the top from Ruben Diaz. Russ suggests that Norwich should have had a penalty for handball in stoppage time, but it's not been given. So I'm not seeing it, so I don't know. But as we take a look again at the, you can see Haaland really well. Between Højlund and Haaland, the two number 9s battling it out there. Haaland just trying to get the better of Højlund. Højlund did really, really well just to deal with Haaland in that exchange. Not given a foul as by the referee. It was very much 6-1, of course. And the ball is picked up by Doku. Doku just drops the ball back there to Ederson. Ederson heads the ball out. It's full time at Carrow Road. Burnley have come away with a victory. And here is Kobbie Mainoo. Kobbie Mainoo down the right-hand side, tries to play the ball into the middle, looking for Højlund. It was behind Højlund and cleared away by Diaz. It's picked up by Mezraoui now. Mezraoui to Diallo, who's also been fairly impressive in this first half, Nick. He's made some very interesting runs.
Yes, he certainly have, and Diallo is certainly showing that he is definitely on the pace for Manchester United. He's been really good at pressurising and indeed holding off many of the Manchester City forwards or defenders.
Here's Diallo. Drops the ball back there to to number 25, Manuel Ugarte. It's now with Lisandro Martinez. Martinez holds the ball up. And Martinez drops the ball across there to Dallo. Dallo plays the ball back into his own half of the field. Manchester United just trying to slow the pace down a little bit. It's a super ball across to Mazraoui. And Mazraoui just picks up the ball there with Kobe Mainoo. Does a quick 1-2 with the England international. Here's Mainoo again. And that's ball to Lisandro Martinez. And Diallo's in one-on-one. Chance for Diallo. Oh, he pulls it wide. What an opportunity, Nick, for Diallo there that really could have given Manchester United the lead.
That certainly could. He was just so close. Had he aimed his angle a bit more to the left, that would have been the opening goal for Manchester United. He pulls his shirt over his head. He can't believe it.
I mean, he might have been offside. Looking at the replay on my monitor, he might have been offside, but what an opportunity nevertheless for Manchester United. Best chance of the whole game for them. And here's Kyle Walker. Plays the ball forward over the halfway line to Haaland. Haaland just chests the ball down, but it breaks loose to Diallo. But Diallo gives the ball away to Ruben Diaz. We've had 26 minutes gone in the 195th Manchester derby. It is 0-0 at the Etihad Stadium between Manchester City and Manchester United. And that's a poor ball there by Núñez. And Manchester United pick up the ball again. And here's Bruno Fernandes. He holds the ball up well, looking for options left and right. Plays the ball to Diallo. Diallo drops the ball back to Ugarte. Ugarte across to Kobe Mainoo. And Mainoo just drops the ball back there to Matthijs de Ligt, who gives the ball to Diallo, and Diallo plays it back into his own half. It's picked up by Lisandro Martinez, back to Nusa Mazraoui, and it's played off Matheus Nunes, but I think that also came off Mazraoui. It's going to be a throw into Manchester City, and some Manchester City fans are covering their face. They can't believe they can't watch what they're seeing. I just wonder how Manchester City fans are reacting. They're not used to this sort of league form, are they, Nick? One win in the last 6 league games. It's the lowest point score at this stage of the season for Pep Guardiola as the Manchester City manager.
Yes, it certainly is, and no wonder the fans of Manchester City appear to be so demoralised at the moment.
Well, here's Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker drops the ball back to Ruben Diaz. Diaz drops the ball back to the goalkeeper, Ederson. Ederson just cleared it away as Diallo was closing in there. Here's Matheus Nunes. Nunes just trying to turn away from Kobe Mainoo, but that's a good challenge by the England man. Puts the ball out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in to Manchester City as Pep cutting a frustrated figure right now. As this is very, very even, really. Both sides created 1 or 2 chances, but both sides just failing to put together the final ball in the most part, Nick.
Yes, yes, that's right. Both sides just can't get the final touch in towards goal, and I did
stop you there, Nick. It's coming. The ball is coming into the box, but it was a fine challenge there by Lisandro Martinez. Just getting that ball back to the goalkeeper, but just for a moment, Phil Foden was breaking in there. Sorry, Nick, finish your point.
I was actually going to finish off with, like I said earlier, I wouldn't be surprised if it finished 0-0.
Well, here's Foden. Just challenged there again, this time by Kobe Mainoo. And Diogo Dalot just plays the ball forward. And chasing this one is Rasmus Højlund, but cutting across well is Kyle Walker. He lifts the ball into the Manchester United half of the field, but a frustrated Erling Haaland just gives Manuel Ugarte a shove there, and it's going to be a free kick. Haaland just trying to explain to Anthony Taylor that Ugarte made more of it than he needed to. Anthony Taylor stating, probably just advising Erling Haaland, who is the referee in this game. It's a free kick to Manchester United that Harry Maguire takes short, as it's played across to Lisandro Martinez. Bruno Fernandes just trying to play the ball forward. It's blocked, but it comes all the way back to Martinez, and Martinez goes back to Onana. Excuse me. And there is Mateus de Ligt. Just gives the ball there to the number 3, Nusa Mesraoui. Mesraoui plays the ball long, and it's just headed down there by Josko Gavardiol and hooked back to the goalkeeper, Ederson, who smashes the ball downfield and headed back into the City half of the field. And Mateus Nunes just lets that roll out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in on the halfway line for Manchester City. Well, it's Manchester City just struggling to create the chances. Haaland not struggling to score the goals. It's been a bit of an issue for Manchester City, but we know how talented they are, and I don't see this run lasting for long, Nick.
No, I don't think so either. Because given Pep Guardiola's experience as a manager, I think Manchester City could well win this one, but not by much.
Ball is played long downfield, looking for Erling Haaland's head. It goes over the top of the big Norwegian and goes back through to the goalkeeper. And Manchester City, well, they'll look at this as being a game that, if they win, could very well turn their season back around. Here's Andre Onana, just gives the ball to De Ligt. De Ligt launches it forward. It's headed down there by Mateus Nunes. Knocked on by Kevin De Bruyne. It now finds Jeremy Doku. Doku now trying to get in the penalty area for Manchester City. Tries to lay the ball off to De Bruyne. It was blocked, but Doku keeps possession. Here's Nunes. Oh, Gavardiol is dispossessed, and Manchester United can break forward in numbers now. Here's Diallo. Down the right-hand side. Diallo holds the ball back. Gives the ball to Ugarte. He's a good 35 yards out. Excuse me. Ugarte gives the ball to Martinez. Martinez tries to play the ball in. It's blocked by Walker. Comes back out to Fernandes with a shot, and it goes over the crossbar. And Manchester City breathe again. Excuse me, I apologise. Well, see here the shot again just goes over. Well, it's way over and wide. Very disappointing. Final ball again, Nick.
Yes, very disappointing. You'd have thought by now that either one or two of the sides would be in front, but it's still 0-0 at the present moment.
And Manchester City just clear the ball downfield, and it's back in their half of the field now with Ruben Diaz. Diaz plays the ball down to Mateus Nunes. Nunes cuts inside and holds the ball back to Kevin De Bruyne. Oh, it's a good ball by De Bruyne, but it was blocked well by Kobe Mainoo. But the idea was right, but the ball is played long and just headed out of play by Ruben Diaz. Otherwise, that would have set Diallo on his way. Well read by Ruben Diaz, Nick.
Yes, certainly well read by Diaz. He saw what was coming. He got himself ready, and when he acted, it was at the right moment.
Well, here is the number 3, Mesraoui. Mesraoui just drops the ball back, and Mesraoui now plays the ball forward over the halfway line, but it's blocked. And good work by Kobe Mainoo. Back to the number 4 here, Mateus De Ligt. De Ligt just holds the ball up. De Ligt again. Good ball to Mesraoui. Back to De Ligt. And De Ligt back to the goalkeeper. Manchester United just trying to build up something here. And the ball goes back to to Lisandro Martinez. And just over to Diogo Dalot. Dalot drops the ball back. And a long ball across to Mesraoui. Mesraoui to Amad Diallo down the right-hand side. Here goes Diallo. Plays the ball across to Kobe Mainoo. Kobe Mainoo back to Diallo. Its shot is blocked. And just cleared away finally by Ruben Diaz into his the Manchester United half of the field.
That was a real block of the copybook if ever I saw one.
Well, it's Manchester United now. Just Bernardo Silva just trying to break away, but he's fouled by his countryman Bruno Fernandes, and it's going to be a free kick. And Bruno Fernandes can't believe it. As a captain, he has a voice for the referee, but let's take a look at this one, Nick. Looks like he captures the City man there, doesn't it?
Yes, it looks like indeed he does, and I think I can also see at least five of the players actually arguing over the situation.
Here's Foden to Doku. Doku inside the penalty area now, turns, gets the shot away, but a really good block by Nusa Mazraoui, and it goes behind for another Manchester City corner as we have 10 minutes till the break here. It's Manchester City 0, Manchester United 0, the 195th Manchester derby, as the corner will be taken down the left-hand side, and it's going to be taken by Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne going to swing this ball in. And sometimes he likes to go short, but I feel that this needs to be a ball by De Bruyne of fine quality, but Haaland once again being watched this time by his opposite number. And it's back there with De Bruyne again, who swings the ball in, the heads go up, and it's 1-0, and the goal is scored, and it's Josko Gvardiol gives City the 1-goal lead with a thumping header past Andre Onana, and it's Josko Gvardiol. He was unmarked, there was nobody watching him, and that's the goal that Manchester City need. And Nick, the defending for Manchester United, it wasn't the best there, was it?
No, their defending was completely abysmal. They couldn't.
Just seemed to have lost Nick for a moment, but the cross came in, and you'll get a better look at it from this side if you're watching the pictures. Højlund and Dalot were there, but neither were close enough, and it was a superb ball delivered in by De Bruyne, and it just the header was a looping header past the goalkeeper. No chance for Onana whatsoever, and it is 1-0 to Manchester City. And I'll let you know when we get Nick back. Nick, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, you just went silent for a second there, my friend. How do you think this is going to shift the game for Manchester United now?
Given that Manchester City were the first ones in front, so I think they're still going to hold it right there and then. But Manchester United could close in fast.
Well, one of the Manchester City players has gone down, and it's boiling over here. Ederson's out there trying to calm down. Manuel Ugarte's over there. It's Kyle Walker that's gone down, and I'm going to have another look at this because this was off camera. But we'll just see exactly what's happened there. I'm sure if there's anything going on VAR, we'll take a look at it. Stuart Atwell is in VAR today, along with Simon Bennett as his assistant. But the referee's got his book out anyway. Kyle Walker is just on his haunches there. Ederson has gone over to find out what's going on. So has Haaland. Really, there should be only... Well, Kyle Walker's down at the moment, so he can't. Let's take a look. Højlund seems to have been shoved over there. It goes over to Walker. Two heads clashes. Oh, he goes down very easy, does Walker. Very easy. Oh, he goes down like he's been hit by a brick, Nick. Oh, that's... No. I think Walker should be booked for that. I think that is abysmal. Abysmal. He goes down like he's been shot by a sniper rifle. What is that all about, Nick?
I'm not so sure about that, but what we've also just seen is the ugly side of football. Everyone getting into a fracas and argument over it. No wonder the referee was trying to separate them like a pack of angry wolves.
Well, I can tell you, Kyle Walker went down like he'd been hit by a brick. And it's shocking, really, that is booked anyway. But it's shocking, really, that players do that nowadays to try to get another player sent off. I know it's a Manchester derby, but come on. Free kick now for Manchester United, and it's Bruno Fernandes that's going to swing it in. The heads go up, and it's bouncing around there, and it's almost come off. Well, it came off a Manchester City player, but it almost beat the Manchester City goalkeeper, Ederson. Manchester City are appealing the fact that this came off a Manchester United player, but this was very close to 1-1 here. Mainu might have just been offside, but he wasn't. Oh, it seems to have come off Mainu, I think. But it's a corner for Manchester United anyway, but that nearly went in. It's Bruno Fernandes, corner on the right-hand side. Swung in, cleared away there by Doku, but only as far as Amad Diallo. Good work by Diallo. Looking there for Mateus de Ligt, but good work there and cleared away by Ruben Diaz and as far as Bruno Fernandes. And Manchester United get the ball back. Yes, so as I mentioned before, Højlund and also Kyle Walker have gone into the referee's notebook. And here's Diogo Dalla, dispossessed this time by Kyle Walker. Picks up the ball again, does Walker. And it looks like the referee has stopped play. We've got 4 minutes to go till half time. And we might as well get an assessment from you, Nick, at this point.
Well, Manchester City still lead 1-0. Manchester United still have had their chances, but in terms of an overall victory, I still think it'll go to Manchester City. But what I think has marred this for me is the absolute horror that was the argument surrounding that foul by Kyle Walker. That argument should never have happened in the first place.
Well, we look again at the goal from Manchester City. It was a beautiful ball in by Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, just right onto the head of Josko Gvardiol. Really superb ball into the box by Kevin De Bruyne, who I still maintain is one of the best midfielders in the world. It goes back to Andre Onana. Ball played forward, but a poor ball, and it was struck immediately, and that was on target. And I'm just not quite sure who that was. I think it was De Bruyne that struck that, but it was struck straight away, and it was on target. Onana was in position, fortunately for him, as the ball is put out of play by Josko Gvardiol. And here's Mezraoui. Mezraoui drops it back there. And the referee has stopped play again. I'm not sure what he stopped play for this time. He's picked up the ball, and I'm not sure what he stopped play for. Well, it's a few minutes to go till half time. The referee stopped play and just handed the ball to Manchester United. It's a free kick, I'm guessing. I'm not sure what it was for, though. There was nobody near Kobe Mainu. And here's Lisandro Martinez. Martinez, ball played across to Dalot. Back to Martinez again. We've got inside 2 minutes to go till the break. And here's Mezraoui, just in front of Phil Foden. Mezraoui tries to turn away from Foden and plays the ball forward. And here's Kobe Mainu. Amad Diallo is offside. And it's going to be a free kick. He just went way too early there, did Amad Diallo. And it's a free kick as we tick towards the end of the first half. Not sure how much stoppage time is likely to be shown. Probably only a couple of minutes, maybe 3 minutes due to the Mason Mount injury. But we'll see. Free kick to Manchester City. And it's going to be taken by Ederson. And I apologise for the coughing. I'm still in the recovery of a cold, so doing my best here. I'll try and mute when the cough comes on if I can. I know it can't sound really nice to listeners. It's picked up by Erling Haaland now. Haaland picks up the ball, and he's alleged to have fouled Manuel Ugarte, and it's a free kick to Manchester United. 4 minutes added on is the stoppage time at the end of this first half. It's about right, given the injury to Mason Mount, Nick.
Yes, I would have to say so. I'm still fuming over the fracas over Kyle Walker.
Well, Diogo Dalla plays the ball there to Lisandro Martinez and picked up again by Martinez. And Bruno Fernandes now has the ball, given to Diogo Dalla. Dalla back to Martinez. And back into his own half of the field finds Harry Maguire. He goes for the long ball, looking for Diogo Dalla. That's well read by Kyle Walker. And Walker gets the ball back there and clears the ball downfield, looking for De Bruyne, but good challenge by Lisandro Martinez. It's going to be a throw into Manchester City. And at the moment, Manchester City holding that slender 1-goal lead. The goal on 37 minutes from Josko Gvardiol with the header, and that will be very suitable for Manchester City. And the throw in to be taken here by Kyle Walker, throws the ball long, just brought down well here though by Kevin De Bruyne. He goes down under the challenge of Manuel Ugarte, and it's going to be a free kick to Manchester City. As we've had a comment in the comment section, Walker pretending he can get something in this match. Dirty play, he does deserve a booking. Frankly, I agree with Chris Unwin on that one. He went down. You could tell on the replay, actually, he went down because the heads weren't even touching when he went down. And he went down like he'd been hit by a brick. And I agree with you, Chris. I hate to see that in football. I really hate to see it. It's a free kick to Manchester City. Like I said, it's swung in by Kevin De Bruyne, but that's a really disappointing free kick. It goes over everybody's head and well wide. And the free kick, the goal kick is going to be taken by Andre Onana. And here is Mazraoui. Mazraoui drops the ball back to Matthijs de Ligt and cleared away by Matthijs de Ligt. And the ball is played forward here to Manuel Ugarte. Across there from, it's a poor ball by Dalot, and it's picked up by Phil Foden. And here is Matheus Nunes. And well, Manchester City was a bit slow on the uptake there because Diogo Dalot's ball was really, really poor. But here comes Kyle Walker now for Manchester City. And here is the number 19, Ilkay Gundogan. And it's across to Matheus Nunes. Matheus Nunes over the halfway line. He's got Jeremy Doku alongside him, but also Erling Haaland there free on the edge of the 18-yard box. Picked up by Foden. Gives the ball back to Gundogan. Gundogan again. And Gvardiol, the goal scorer. Oh, it's a good ball there to Nunes to Doku. Doku corner of the penalty area, left-hand side. Trying to get to the byline. Doku, long cross to the back post. And this time monitored a bit better by Diogo Dalla. It's back with Foden to the edge of the area. Phil Foden with a shot! Oh, and I think Andre Onana just got the fingertips to that and puts it behind for a corner. Very good save as Phil Foden coming very close to doubling the lead there, Nick.
That was a wonderful, wonderful save by Andre Onana. His fingers may well have made the difference.
Well, it might have been going wide anyway. It was deflected by Harry Maguire, but that being said, he couldn't afford to take a chance. It was far too close. And the corner is going to be taken by Kevin De Bruyne. Takes it short here to Doku. Doku, a little bit of space. Back to De Bruyne. Is De Bruyne going to swing another one in? He's fouled that time, surely, by Lisandro Martinez, and it's going to be a free kick as we approach the 4 minutes played in stoppage time at the end of this first half. We'll be going back to Nick at the half-time interval. Not to Nick, sorry, to Ross at the half-time interval. I'm sorry, Nick. It's going to be a corner. It's going to be a free kick for Kevin De Bruyne. It's just a few yards outside the penalty area, level with the 6-yard box. down the down the left-hand side, and De Bruyne is he may play this short. Let's see what he does. He's taking a run up, so let's have a look. Here comes De Bruyne. Lifts it up to the edge of the area, looking for Foden, but that was read very well by Manuel Ugarte, and that is half-time. And Nick, what are your thoughts on that first half?
Thoughts on the first half. Neither side were willing to concede an inch. I think Manchester City had the edge for most part, but then that goal by Gvardiol came out of nowhere, and the Sky Blues have been able to hold their ground pretty much ever since.
Well, it's half-time at the Etihad Stadium. The goal, 37 minutes by Josko Gvardiol, separates the two teams in this Manchester derby. Going to hand you back to Russ now for the half-time show.
Thank you very much there to Paul, Anthony and Nick. Just before I do let you go for your half-time break, just want to quickly ask you, going in at half-time, City leading 1-0, I know Manchester United have had their chances as well. Would you say Pep Guardiola will be the happier of the two managers between him and Ruben Amorim at half-time?
I'd say most definitely Guardiola will be the happiest of the two. I think Amorim will feel there's more to come during the second half.
Yes, thank you very much there, Nick. We'll be back with Nick and with Paul in plenty of time for the start of the second half. Let me just recap here from the earliest scores in the day's other action this afternoon, then an early evening, and we've got the game in the Scottish League Cup. We'll keep you updated with that game as well. Scottish League Cup final between Celtic and Rangers in that one. Let's run you through the scores then. In the Premier League then, Brighton 1, Crystal Palace 3 is a full-time score. As you can hear, it's Man City 1, Man United 0 at half-time. Chelsea versus Brentford in Southampton. Tottenham is above evening kickoffs at 7 p.m. We'll bring you the team news for those a little bit later on at the end of our coverage this afternoon. In the Sky Bet Championship, Watford 2, West Bromwich Albion 1 was the full-time score at Vicarage Road. Bayo with a goal either side of half-time, 35 minutes and 50 minutes. Jason Mulumby with a goal back for West Brom on 67, but it wasn't enough as the Hornets beat the Baggies. At Carrow Road, Burnley came from 1-0 down to beat Norwich City by 2-1. Cordoba with the goal on 2 minutes for the Canaries. Before the Clarets goes back through Zion Fleming, a fantastic long-range strike after a free kick from Josh Cullen was tapped into his path. And then Josh Brown will control the finish at the back post. Norwich thought they should have had a penalty now. Having seen that game, would agree there was an handball at the back post by Bashir Humphries, but the referee didn't give it. So Norwich felt they could have potentially got a penalty, which I would tend to agree on. Burnley now close the gap to Leeds just to 1 point and just 4 points behind Sheffield United, a point clear of Sunderland as well. So it's really, really tight at the top end of the Championship. Watford up to 7th with that win over West Bromwich Albion as well. West Brom down to 8th in the division there. Norwich City in 12th place in the Championship table this afternoon. In the Women's Super League, in case you've missed any of those scores, Everton 2, Man City 1, Aston Villa 3, West Ham 1, Crystal Palace 0, Man United 1, Liverpool 0, Arsenal 1. All the results there. Women's Championship, Bristol City 5, Durham 0, Birmingham 0, Charlton Athletic 0, London City Lionesses 3, Southampton 1, Sunderland 2, Portsmouth 2. There in the women's side of things. In the Women's FA Cup, Ipswich 1, Bournemouth 0, Oxford 2, Bristol Rovers 3, and Kidderminster 0, Blackburn Rovers 4. Let's go into the Scottish Premiership. Finish Kilmarnock 1, Hearts 0, even though Kilmarnock had a man sent off. What a game in the Scottish League Cup final at Hampden Park. It is 6 minutes of stoppage time there. But what about this first scoreline? Celtic 3, Rangers 3. Which the draw may put Rangers in front on 41 minutes. Taylor and Maeda turned it around on 56 and 60 minutes respectively. Diamande levelled with 15 minutes to go. It looks as though Kunt had won the game for Celtic in the 87th minute, only for Danilo to level a minute later. They're in stoppage time in that game. 2 minutes of stoppage time left to go. Celtic 3, Rangers 3 in the League Cup final in Scotland. In League 1 in France, Montpellier 2, Nice 2, Brest 2, Mons 1 is the latest score. Le Havre 0, Strasbourg 2 also a latest score. And Rennes beating Angers by a goal to nil. The latest score in that one. This evening's game is PSG against Olympic Lyon A. In the German Bundesliga, Heidenheim 1, Stuttgart 3 is a result. And at half time is Borussia Dortmund 0, Hoffenheim 0. RB Leipzig against Eintracht Frankfurt at 6:30 p.m. UK time this evening. In Italian Serie A, Lecce 2, Monza 1, Bologna 1, Fiorentina 0, and Parma 2, Verona 3 all results. Como against AS Roma currently playing, 27 minutes on the clock, currently 0-0 there. Milan AC of that ilk take on Genoa should I say, at 7:45 this evening. In the Dutch Eredivisie, Utrecht 3, Go Ahead Eagles 3, Mengen 1, Sparta Rotterdam 1, FC Twente 2, Groningen 0, and Ajax are currently beating Almere City by 3 goals to 87 minutes on the clock. There, in La Liga, Atletico Madrid beat Getafe by a goal to 0, and Alaves drew Athletic Club 1-1. Real Sociedad against Las Palmas and Villarreal. Real Betis kick off at 5:30, so any moment now. And then at 8 o'clock in the evening kick off is Barcelona against Leganés in La Liga. There, we'll keep you bang up to date with all those at the end of our coverage as well this evening. We're just going to take a quick break. But when we return, we'll be back with the second half action. Who will come out on top in this Manchester derby? Will it be Manchester City or will it be Manchester United? Join us to find out shortly. Welcome back to the second half coverage of Manchester City and Manchester United. City lead United by a goal to nil in this Manchester derby, and a goal headed home by defender Josko Gvardiol following a corner which was taken quickly and short by Kevin De Bruyne. And we're back to the Belgian international as well. Kyle Walker went down with clash of heads with Oiland, not really much in it. Both players picked up a yellow card for that incident as well, if you've only just joined us as well. Nick is with us at the moment. We'll get Fitzpaul in just before so the second half. But Nick, just want to ask you a quick question. When you look at how that first half went, which of the two managers do you think would be going to the substitutions first? Do you think City will go for that way first, or do you think it'd be something, say, Manchester United may be looking for the subs bench first?
I think between the two of them, it'll be like a game of chess. One of them is going to have to make the first move, and who will get the checkmate in the end? Anyone's guess.
Yes, and Nick, you saw the incident and you like all the fracas after it between what happened between Kyle Walker and Rasmus Oiland. Some of the former players who played in this game wanted some of the former players from both sides, Michael Richards, ex-Man City, Roy Keane, ex-Man United, both said Walker should be embarrassed. Do you think the same as well, Nicholas?
I'm still fuming from the argument between the players that happened afterwards. There was really no need for several of the players to act like wild dogs in front of the audience.
Yes, absolutely, Nick. We'll get ready for the second half very, very shortly. Then, Nick, if I were to press you for a score prediction, you did say Man City bump the 1-1 draw, or Man City just nick it 2-1 at the start of the coverage. Are you still seeing it as that way, or do you think City could potentially win it without conceding in this second half?
No, I personally think Manchester City could well win this game 1-0.
Thank you very much. Then, Nicholas Jones. Nick will be now. He's now heading back. He's up the way to join you match commentator for the start of the second half. Back over to your commentary as we wait Man City to come out of the tunnel at the start of the second half. We mentioned United already back out there. And then back over to match commentary team. It's Nicholas Jones. But first of all, Paul James.
Thank you, Ross. And yes, we are waiting for the Manchester City team. They are late. Perhaps a little bit of gamesmanship from Pep Guardiola. But we're waiting for them to come out now for the start of this second half. And right now, the Manchester United, well, they're waiting, and they are late out for the second half. But Nick, with this in mind, you can sort of see that the sort of gamesmanship that did sort of go on in the first half with Kyle Walker, and it's, to me, this sort of thing is beneath a manager like Pep Guardiola. It's beneath the great man. This manager is the best manager in the game, in my opinion, right now, and this sort of thing is beneath him. But here come the Manchester City team now. Led out by Ilkay Gundogan. Now, Manchester United so far haven't made any changes. We'll just wait and see if Manchester City are going to make any themselves. They have the 1-goal lead right now. I think that they'll be relatively happy with their first half performance, Nick.
Yes, I think Manchester City are relatively happy with their first half performance, and as they go into the second half, they aim to keep it that way.
Well, Pep Guardiola takes his position on the bench, just enjoying a nice cold drink of water. Finally, we are going to get this second half underway, perhaps a little bit late, and the referee Just waiting now for him to blow his whistle. And we're back underway as Manchester United this time attacking the goal to our left inside in the second half. No changes from either side. I'll run through the lineups for you very quickly here for Manchester City. Ederson, Gvardiol, Diaz, Walker, Gundogan, Silva, Nunez, Foden, De Bruyne, Doku and Haaland. For Manchester United, Onana, Martinez, Maguire, De Ligt, Dalot, Fernandes, Ugarte, Mazraoui, Mount, Højlund and Diallo. Throw into Manchester City, taken quickly. Thrown into the Manchester United half of the field. Kyle Walker taking that, but it's won back by Kobbie Mainoo. Mainoo now picks up the ball just over the halfway line, gives it to Bruno Fernandes, and he drops the ball to Manuel Ugarte. And it's picked up by the number 4 there, Matthijs de Ligt. Manchester United now will try to maintain possession early on here. And it's picked up by the number 6, Lisandro Martinez. Ball played forward over the halfway line, and it's now picked up by Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes plays the ball forward to Rasmus Højlund. Højlund finds Mazraoui. Mazraoui to Diallo, corner of the penalty area, right-hand side, into Kobbie Mainoo. Mainoo holds up the ball well. He backheels it there to Mazraoui, but Mazraoui is in an offside position, and it's going to be a free kick to Manchester City. Well, Manchester United starting as they mean to go on. What do they have to do in the second half, Nick, to get themselves back into this game?
They really need to start pushing themselves forwards a lot more and show a bit more pace. They did that. In fits and starts for the first half, but they really need to be more consistent.
Ugarte back to the goalkeeper, Andre Onana. Onana launches the ball downfield. Haaland closing in on him, but it's a poor clearance by Andre Onana. Goes over the head of Mazraoui and goes out of play. Andre Onana, from the view of some Manchester United fans I've heard, had a better season up until that performance against Nottingham Forest. Received a lot of backlash from the usual YouTube crowd for that performance against Nottingham Forest, probably at fault for 2 of the Nottingham Forest goals. Here is Martinez. Good ball to Fernandes. Fernandes tries to find Diallo, but that is good work there by Nunez. Drops the ball back to Gvardiol. Gvardiol lifts the ball forward, but it goes out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in for Manchester City. And it's thrown back to the halfway line. And it's now picked up there by Matthijs de Ligt. He gives the ball to Harry Maguire. Back to De Ligt. De Ligt. And back to Harry Maguire. Good ball by Maguire there to Lisandro Martinez. Martinez picks up the ball. And that's to Diogo Dalot. Back to Martinez. Martinez swings the ball back to the goalkeeper. Andre Onana clears it downfield, and Matthijs de Ligt now has pretty much been a stay-at-home defenseman today, really, Nick. The ball is played forward now, looking for Rasmus Højlund. Oh, a superb challenge there by Josko Gvardiol, Nick. Vital challenge, otherwise Højlund would have been through one-on-one.
Yes, certainly a good challenge by Gvardiol. Did really well to hold Højlund off. Had he not been there, Højlund may well have had a chance.
Well, it's now with Diallo. Diallo trying to cut into the penalty area. Drops the ball back to the edge of the area. Diallo gets the shot away. It's blocked. And here's Doku. Oh, Doku is dispossessed from a fine challenge by Mazraoui. And now here is the number 8, Bruno Fernandes, dispossessed there by Jeremy Doku. Wins that ball back very well, the Belgian international. Plays the ball to his countryman Kevin De Bruyne, but De Bruyne is dispossessed, and finally Haaland is tripped, but the referee says play on. And here's Bernardo Silva, shielded off the ball, but it is in fact a free kick to Manchester City. Yasser Hassan, hi, welcome to the chat. Let us know where you're from, where you're listening from, on this Sunday afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us. He says sup. And we look at Manchester United technical director Jason Wilcox as some of the Manchester United directors there just having a chat about the overall performance. But here is he's stopped there is Dalot. He's alleged to have fouled his opposite number, Bernardo Silva, and it's going to be a free kick to Manchester City. Bright start for the second half by Manchester United, Nick.
Yes, certainly a bright start for the Red Devils. I think they're starting to show more form than they did in the first half.
All right. Throw in to Manchester City, which is going to be taken by Mateus Nunes. He's just taking his time here, and that's going to incur the wrath of the referee if he doesn't hurry. It's dropped down to Phil Foden. Foden just drops the ball back into his own half of the field. And here is the number 2, Kyle Walker, and it's played forward there from Kevin De Bruyne, but that's a really good block by Lisandro Martinez. And the ball goes out of play. It's going to be a throw into Manchester City. Bernardo Silva has it in his hands at the moment. He's just going to give the ball to Kyle Walker, who's going to take the throw in. The Manchester City captain, Kyle Walker. And the ball is played forward, and it's dispossessed there by Bernardo Silva to gives the ball, in fact, to Ilkay Gundogan. Gundogan holds the ball up. Really good ball there to Nunes. Now he's got Doku alongside him, but Nunes gives the ball back to Gundogan. Gundogan to Foden. Manchester City patiently building up here. Here's Kyle Walker, gives the ball to Bernardo Silva. Oh, nice by Bernardo Silva. Oh, he almost beaten Dalot that time, but Lisandro Martinez was covering well, and that was good play there by Lisandro Martinez. He's been very sharp today, and Erling Haaland has just nipped the ball off Kobe Mainoo, and here's Jeremy Doku now. He gets into the penalty area. And Doku attempted to get the cross away, but it looks like it's just come off Matthijs de Ligt, and it's going to be a corner to Manchester City. Jason Wilcox is ex-Leeds United. He was also an academy coach at Manchester City FC. Also a former Blackburn player as well was Jason Wilcox. Remember him well. Corner is going to be taken down the left-hand side. It's going to be taken by Kevin De Bruyne. Up there is Gvardiol. He's already got one goal. It's taken short by De Bruyne. He gives it to Doku. It's now back with Gundogan. Finally, De Bruyne swings it in. It's a very poor cross and cleared away by Bruno Fernandes. And Nick, you have to... it's incumbent on you today to pick the man of the match today. So you've probably had a few candidates right now, but I'm sure Lisandro Martinez is one. He's played very, very well today, hasn't he?
Yes, he certainly has. Active when he needed to. He's definitely up there.
It's a free kick to Manchester City. Diogo Dalot, the perpetrator there, and it's to be taken by Kyle Walker, who seems to have recovered from his vicious headbutt at the end of the first half. And it's just inside the Manchester United half of the field. It's going to, in fact, be taken by Bernardo Silva. Played forward, looking for for Erling Haaland, and now Manchester United win the ball back though by Lisandro Martinez. He gives the ball there to Dalot, and it's played forward now to Amad Diallo, back to Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes to Mazraoui, now Diallo, corner of the penalty area, right hand side, and it's with Bruno Fernandes. Slow, patient build up by Manchester United. Can they get themselves back into this one? Crossed by Bruno Fernandes, but that, Nick, is terrible. It has to be said.
Yes, that was really poor play.
And it's going to be a goal kick. And Ederson will now take his time, I'm sure. He's got options available to him. He decides to play it short to Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker, long ball over the halfway line, looking for Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland brings it down well, but Harry Maguire muscles Haaland out of the play. Good work by Harry Maguire there. Gives the ball to Diogo Dalla. Dalla goes back to Harry Maguire. Maguire infield there to the number 25, Manuel Ugarte. Plays the ball across there to Nusa Mazraoui. Mazraoui drops the ball back there to Diallo. Diallo has got Mainu alongside him. He finds Mainu just inside the centre circle, Kobe Mainu. And he just drops the ball there to Martinez, who drops it back to Matthijs de Ligt. Oh, good ball by Diallo. Back to de Ligt again. And here's Harry Maguire. Maguire to Martinez. He's got Lissandra. He's got Ugarte there in the middle. Finds Manuel Ugarte. And now it's Harry Maguire just over the halfway line. Manchester United now just taking their time. They are 1-0 down, and at the moment they're just not keeping the ball inside their own half of the field and are not really moving forward with it. And that's a really poor ball, sending Lissandro Martinez chasing back for that one. And Martinez lifts the ball over the top. It's a good ball there to Matthijs de Ligt, but Manchester United not really moving forward at this time.
No, they really should. They really should be advancing more often. Whatever opportunities they're given, they're just not taking them.
Mainu into the centre circle. Oh, it's won back by Manchester City, and it's Josko Gvardiol to Phil Foden. Maintains possession. Good ball by Phil Foden to Jeremy Doku. City breaking out in 3s and 4s. Here's Doku. And he drops the ball back as well. And here is Diaz to the number 19, Ilkay Gundogan, of course, and he gives the ball there to Gvardiol. Gvardiol holds the ball up. Gvardiol lifts the ball up to Erling Haaland. Haaland now just trying to chase this one through, but it's read well by Matthijs de Ligt. And, well, he's really been marshalled well as Haaland today, and really by other teams in the past few weeks as well, Nick. I'm going to ask you a question in a minute, Nick, and in fact, I'll ask it now that the ball's gone out of play. Do you think Haaland has been found out?
He could, given the quality of player he is, I wouldn't be surprised if in the future other people will be circling around him for a contract, if that's what you mean.
Well, when I say found out, I mean his style of play has been read. And
yes, yes, I see. I get you now. I think people may well be starting to learn from him now.
Okay, so it's a free kick there for the foul by Mazraoui. And we're on 58 minutes here. No changes by either side so far in this game. And here's Nunez. Nunez finds Foden. Edge of the area. Foden still maintains possession. In the penalty area is Phil Foden. And he drops it back to the edge of the area here to Gundogan. Gundogan. Good ball to Nunez. Nunez played into... Oh, good challenge there by Manuel Ugarte. That's a fine tackle. And it's cleared out of play that time by Josko Gvardiol. And he's just holding up possession there as well. Kobe Mainu just trying to play the ball forward, but Gvardiol gets just in the way of that. Manchester City now win the ball back in midfield. It's forward to Ilkay Gundogan. Gundogan lifts the ball over the top for Haaland, but he's just not close enough to him, and it escapes the big Norwegian and goes through to the goalkeeper. Manchester City coming close to connecting there, but still they lead by a 1-0. The ball is played forward now, looking for Rasmus Højlund. He holds the ball up and lays it off. It goes out of play. Looks like it's come off Ruben Diaz. It's a throw into Manchester United. And here is Manuel Ugarte. Ugarte across the midfield there to Diallo. Diallo storming into the penalty area. Diallo! Oh, and it was just cleared away there by Ruben Diaz. Good work by the Manchester City defenseman, stopping Diallo right in his tracks there.
Yes, that's right. Diaz was absolutely on the button. and had he not been there, Manchester United could well have levelled.
Here is Martinez. Martinez back to the number 5 here, Harry Maguire. Maguire is inside the centre circle, looking for options left and right. Maguire across there to Matthijs de Ligt. And just cutting across the line there is Mazraoui. Mazraoui just drops the ball back into Manchester United's half of the field. Here's Harry Maguire now. Maguire just holds the ball up. And it's right now Manchester United just really struggling to kind of break out and create anything at the moment. They're just sort of keeping the ball amongst themselves but not really going anywhere. And here is Mazraoui. Mazraoui gives the ball to Diallo. Diallo drops the ball back to Mainoo. Mainoo just lets the ball roll into his own half of the field but gets the ball back off de Ligt. And it's now with Maguire to de Ligt. Manchester United with 59% possession in this second half, but they're not moving forward at all, really. And in fact, they're going backwards. And here is Dalot. Dalot just drops the ball back across to Ugarte, and Ugarte plays the ball across the penalty area here. And it's held up to the number 37, Kobbie Mainoo. Mainoo plays the ball there to the number 16, Amad Diallo. That's a good ball. Let's see what Manchester United can do now. Here's Lisandro Martinez. Gives the ball down this near side to Diogo Dalot. Dalot drops the ball back there to Bruno Fernandes. He's about 30 yards out. Fernandes slips it in, and there's a header by Diallo and a super save by Ederson. Just gets down to his left-hand side, scrambling there to make that save. It was a simple move by Manchester United, just lifted into the penalty area, and Diallo's little flick header was enough to have Ederson scrambling to his left-hand side and making a vital save, Nick.
How close could Diallo have got? He really made Ederson work for it, but it just did not come off in the end. Just so unlucky.
Corner comes in, it goes, it was flicked away, but only as far as Ugarte. Ugarte now back to Lisandro Martinez. It's flicked into the penalty area. Gavardio gets a header on it away. But Manchester United maintain possession. It's Martinez, just flicks the ball away from Bernardo Silva. Cute play there by Martinez. Here's Mainoo. Mainoo just plays a quick passing routine with Manuel Ugarte. And it's Mainoo again. Mainoo trying to get towards the byline, cuts inside. Oh, he's dispossessed there is Ugarte, and it's cleared away by Kevin De Bruyne with all his might into the Manchester United half of the field. And here's Martinez. Martinez lifts the ball forward, is looking for Højlund. Højlund goes down under the challenge there of Ruben Diaz, and he's staying down. And I don't think there was much in this either. He's still down. Let's take a look at it again. Let's see what happens here. Kyle Walker is now arguing. I don't think he's in any position to talk about this. But let's take a look. The ball over the top, looking for Højlund. Well, he goes down. I don't think that's a penalty. The leg cuts across Højlund. You can see it here. But I do think he goes down pretty easily. Let's see what the officials are given. You can see here. Oh, it's tight now. He goes down, and he did get the heel of the boot on the inside of his leg. He's back up on his feet now, but definitely no penalty for me. Here's Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker now coming forward, looking for options left and right. And gives the ball to the number 19, Ilkay Gundogan. And Gundogan plays the ball to Phil Foden. Back to Gundogan. And it's back to the goalkeeper and cleared downfield by Ederson. Headed into the Manchester City half by Diogo Dalot. And it's back with Ilkay Gundogan, who gives it back to the goalkeeper and swings that ball outfield. And cursing this one is Kevin De Bruyne, but good work by Matthijs de Ligt, gets it all the way back to the goalkeeper Andre Onana. And Andre Onana lifts it over the head of Bernardo Silva, and it's now with Manuel Ugarte. Ugarte midway inside the Manchester United half of the field. Good ball across there to De Ligt, and here's Mainu. Mainu to Diallo. Diallo on 65 minutes here. Still no changes really from either side apart from the one enforced change to Mason Mount in the first half. No tactical changes by either side. Here's Martinez. And it's now with Diallo. Diallo back to Martinez. Martinez just trying to skip the ball away from Kevin De Bruyne, really. And Harry Maguire just gives the ball across there to De Ligt. Now, Manchester United looking to build something here, trying to create some chances, because they really have had very little. Just that header from Martinez, Nick, is really the only chance that Manchester United have had in this second half so far, as Bernardo Silva is fouled, and it's going to be a free kick, or is it? He's complaining. It's a challenge by his opposite number, Manuel Ugarte, I think. Yes, it's a foul. No need to be waving your hand in the referee's face. It's a foul.
Yeah, certainly a foul. I think I just see it as a normal incident.
Well, looks like Mateo Kovacic, having said that nobody's making any changes. Here comes Mateo Kovacic. Action on the Manchester City bench, as Manchester City looking to strengthen the midfield by bringing on the Croatian. We'll just wait and see who comes off. Any thoughts on that, Nick?
Could well be Kevin De Bruyne.
Here is Gundogan. Gundogan getting to the edge of the area. He goes down under the challenge. Nothing given. It's back to De Bruyne. De Bruyne, edge of the area with a shot from De Bruyne, but it's just over the crossbar. And a frustrated look on his face. But Kevin De Bruyne, well, how do you feel about his performance today? He got the assist on the goal, but his overall performance, Nick?
His overall performance hasn't been terrible, but it's not what we're used to seeing of him.
Well, looks like the change here is De Bruyne, so you called it right, and it's Mateo Kovacic on in his place. So Kovacic on, Kevin De Bruyne off. Let's see how this reshapes the Manchester City midfield at all, as we have 22 minutes left in the 195th Manchester derby. It's still 1-0 to the Citizens, and Media Radio Jingles and Gaming says if City win, that's after mostly defeats and draws, which could keep their hopes alive in the title race, but I don't think City will win the league in a fifth time in a row. I don't think so either. Here goes Diallo. Diallo chasing it now, trying to get the cross in, and over there on the back post is Dallo. Dallo now back to the edge of the area to Bruno Fernandes, but that's cleared away. Dallo had more time than he realised there, Nick. There was nobody within about 6 yards of him there.
What was he doing? I'll tell you what he was doing. I think he dawdled about a second too long.
Well, the ball is long over on the far side. Diallo cutting into the penalty area, goes down under the challenge. The referee says no complaints from Diallo either. And he will get himself to his feet. It's still 1-0 here. And just see, it looks like it's Josko Gvardiol. He just hands the ball to Kovacic. Kovacic now, first touch on the ball as a substitute. He gives the ball to Kyle Walker. Looks like Bernardo Silva has gone down to the right-hand side, and pushed further forward here is the number 19, Ilkay Gundogan. And here's Kovacic. Back to Gvardiol. Here's Ruben Diaz. Diaz holds the ball up, and he's just going to go over the halfway line to Jeremy Doku. Doku under pressure, and he drops the ball back to the goalkeeper. So 1-0 to Manchester City with 20 minutes to go in this game. And I have to say, for the moment, it actually really doesn't look like Manchester United are going to score. And now City on the break with İlkay Gundogan. Gundogan plays the ball across here, and just picking that ball up is Nunes, and he gives the ball to Doku. Doku gets a cross in. Oh, and Haaland missed a header. Oh, what an opportunity. If he'd have connected, it surely would have been 2-0. And there is Walker. Walker gives the ball to Foden. Across to Gundogan. We'll get Nick's thoughts in a minute. Gundogan. Kovacic. Kovacic again. Nick, how close was that if Haaland would have got his head on that?
Yeah, yes, that was very close. And Haaland would have normally reacted a bit quicker. I'm surprised he didn't.
Well, here's Kovacic. Back to the number 2, Kyle Walker. Forward there to İlkay Gundogan. Oh, a good challenge by Kobe Mainoo, working hard in that midfield since he's come on for Mason Mount. He says he's had a challenging time in that midfield, but he's been working very, very hard. The ball goes out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in to Manchester City, who so far are holding on to this 1-goal lead. No changes from Ruben Amorim yet on the Manchester United bench, tactically wise. And I'm quite surprised at that. Are you surprised at that, Nick? 20 minutes to go, still no tactical changes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you'd have thought that that somebody like either Amorim or Guardiola would have at least got 2 substitutes on, but no, it's just completely turned on its head.
Okay, so the throw-in is going to be taken by Nusay Mesraoui. And it's back with the goalkeeper. It's back with Harry Maguire, Alessandro Martinez rather, who gives the ball back to the goalkeeper. It's Matthijs de Ligt, and it's Mesraoui again now for Manchester United. Mesraoui trying to move forward, gives the ball there. Oh, it's a fine pass there to Kobe Mainoo, and he tried to set off Rasmus Højlund on his way there, but Højlund was offside. Really, for Manchester United, what I see here as Rasmus Højlund just stepped a foot too far there, Nick. But that was a bright idea, perhaps catching Manchester City on the high line as Manchester City readying Jack Grealish to come on for Manchester City. And here is, I would say it's probably for Jeremy Doku, I would say. As here is Kovacic, Foden, and back to Kovacic again, inside the centre circle here. It's Matheus Nunes. Nunes holds the ball up, and as the referee stopped play for a moment, no, game continues. It's Foden, and it's across here to Gvardiol, the goal scorer. That's a good pass there. And it's picked up in the just inside his own half there by Matheus Nunes. Drops it back to the goalkeeper, and it's cleared downfield here by Ederson. Doku just trying to bring the ball under control, but he's under pressure from Nusay Mesraoui, and Mesraoui wins the ball back, and he's coming forward now for Manchester United. And that's a really good pass to Rasmus Højlund. Here's Fernandes! Oh, it's just wide! What an opportunity for Fernandes. He drops to his knees. He can't believe it. Oh, that was a golden opportunity, Nick. Oh, my goodness me. It was on a plate for him. And, well, he was onside. And he just lifted it over Ederson. And it's just the wrong side of the post.
That was just completely unbelievable that Bruno Fernandes missed. No wonder he just fell to his knees and his head in his hands. He had the opportunity presented, but he just blew it at the last moment.
Well, it's what an opportunity for Fernandes. That should have been 1-1. But that might have been the moment. Here's Ederson. He clears the ball downfield. Jack Grealish will still have to wait before he can come on. Here's Doku. Skips inside, gives the ball there to Phil Foden. Foden inside the centre circle to Gvardiol. He plays the ball forward to Ilkay Gundogan. Gundogan plays the ball across to Nunez. He's got Doku alongside him. Nunez plays the ball to Doku. Doku has got the number 3 Mazraoui in front of him. Doku trying to get to the byline to get the cross in. He checks back. Doku tries to get the cross in. It's just a little late. Kobe Mainu closes him down there. And here's Mainu again. And he just flicks it with the outside of his boot, looking for Amad Diallo, but that's really well read by Gvardiol. Here's Kovacic. Mateo Kovacic just plays the ball forward there to Gundogan. Gundogan lays it off to Mateus Nunes. Nunes down that left-hand side, corner of the penalty area, across to Jeremy Doku here. And we've got time ticking down. We've got 14 minutes left on the clock here. And very soon, Nick, you will be asked to provide your man of the match. And the ball is with Jeremy Doku. Doku has got Mazraoui in front of him. Cuts inside, does Mazraoui. Oh, it's a good ball to Phil Foden. Foden gets a cross in. Oh, well headed away there by Harry Maguire. And Martinez just strikes a shot. And it goes just over the crossbar. But what an opportunity there. It was a good header out by Maguire. And it actually just bounced to Haaland. And it was Lisandro Martinez once again, Nick, that was getting in and stopping that from going anywhere near the goal. Good defending again by Martinez.
Yes, absolutely superb defending by Lisandro Martinez. You can always count on him when you're in a tight spot.
Well, the substitution is being made now, and it is indeed Jeremy Doku who is making way. And Jack Grealish is coming on for Doku. So we'll see how this affects like-for-like change. I suspect Jack Grealish will probably just operate down that left-hand side. The corner is to be taken by Ilkay Gundogan. Gundogan swings the ball in, heads go up, and it's just headed out to the edge of the area to Foden with a shot. And it's just over the crossbar and out of play for a goal kick. Well, that was a good effort. Triple substitution coming up for Manchester United now. And we've got our work cut out here, Nick. It's Anthony, Lenny Yoro, and I'm just not sure who the other guy is there, but
Joshua Zirkzee.
Zirkzee, okay, perfect. So that's Rasmus Højlund going off. We're going to give you a list of these substitutions in a moment. Also, Nusrat Mazraoui going off, and we'll just get the other one now, and then I'll go through them with you. So Anthony is on now, hoping to make a difference. And also coming off is Matthijs de Ligt. So these are your substitutions. Matthijs de Ligt, Nusrat Mazraoui and Rasmus Højlund make way for Lenny Yoro, Joshua Zirkzee and Anthony in a triple substitution by Ruben Amorim. Your thoughts on that, Nick?
I think that's a case of, getting on 3 substitutes at once. That might be seen as a bit too risky.
Well, we'll see. It's definitely an attacking brand of substitutions with Anthony and Zirkzee coming on. Let's see if it can make any difference to this Manchester United side. At the moment, I can see why this has been made. The creativity from Manchester United has barely been there in much of this game, but certainly in the second half, 2 opportunities really only falling the way for Manchester United. Of course, the best perhaps being Bruno Fernandes's opportunity, as that is Kyle Walker just trying to get the ball away. It's blocked by Fernandes, the 2 captains locking horns there. And it's going to be a throw in to Manchester City. Bruno Fernandes just tries to roll the ball away, and this is not going to suit Manchester United with Bruno Fernandes doing that, because Manchester United are still behind, and there's 10 minutes to go, Nick. I got to say, it's Manchester United need to hurry this along, as the throw-in is taken quickly, and it's knocked out of play again. This time by Harry Maguire, but it looks like the ball may have gone out of play and gone back into play. So it's now a throw into Manchester United, and it's Diogo Dalla that's going to take this throw-in. Dalla just throws the ball back there to Harry Maguire, and Maguire just plays the ball forward there to Manuel Ugarte. Ugarte into the middle there. Oh, that's a late challenge on Kobbie Mainoo, but the game goes on, and over on the far side is Antony now, looking to put Matheus Nunes under pressure. Antony cuts inside, and he gives the ball there to the number 16, Diallo. Diallo cuts into the penalty area, trying to get to the byline. Diallo, can he get a cross in? Oh, it was blocked, but Fernandes is unable to keep the ball in play. And a frustrated kick at the goalpost by Diallo there. Nick, he had an opportunity to pull that back so much earlier, didn't he?
Yes, he certainly did, and it was a definite miss from him, and he just had to let out his anger by kicking the post.
Well, it's been that sort of afternoon for Manchester United really today. With 9 minutes to go, Nick, I'll be asking you for your player of the match in 7 to 8 minutes. So if you want to let the producer Russ know in the private chat, so he can get that set up once you've got it clear in your mind. Manchester United fans just looking on there behind that goal, and they just shaking their head. I'm not sure. I suppose they look pretty disappointed right now, but it's not been the best performance by Manchester United as a whole, from an attacking sense at least. Haaland just gets a flick on there, and it goes back to Harry Maguire. He plays that off Jack Grealish, and it's going to be a throw-in to Manchester United. And Antony is going to take it. He's been brought on to try to change things, try to mix things up, in the hope that Manchester United can perhaps pick up, maybe get a point from this game. It's cleared into the air by Matthijs de Ligt, and Lisandro Martinez just heads the ball back to the goalkeeper. Actually, that's not Matthijs de Ligt, sorry, that was Harry Maguire. And the ball is played on to Diogo Dalla. Dalla just drops the ball back here to Lisandro Martinez again. And here's Bruno Fernandes. Manchester United looking to come forward again now. And it's Martinez. Oh, a super ball over there from Martinez. Almost a full width of the pitch to Antony. Now Antony has got Grealish in front of him. Antony tries to cut inside. Just holds up the ball here. He's also got Nunes doubling up on him. Antony gives the ball there to Diallo. And now here's Ugarte. Back to Lisandro Martinez. Good ball there to Diogo Dalla. Manchester United chasing an equaliser at the Etihad. Cut back by Dalla. And it's back to Ugarte. Here's Martinez. Martinez swings in the cross, and there's a header over the top by Kobbie Mainoo. And he needed to get his head over that, but it went over the crossbar and behind Nick.
Yes, he may have been a bit too far back for that, but Manchester United just can't seem to get any equaliser. And it's like they're playing that grab a prize toy game at the fair, and they just can't seem to get it.
Well, there's 6 minutes to go at the Etihad. It's Manchester City 1, Manchester United 0. At the moment, Manchester United, the final ball, the finish, there's a lot of issues at Old Trafford right now. And certainly the way they've played today at the Etihad has given evidence to that, as Kobbie Mainoo concedes a corner. And might be interesting to see what some of the movers and shakers on YouTube have to say this evening from a Manchester United perspective. The corner is going to be taken on the far side. I think it is going to be Jack Grealish that's going to take this. Matheus Nunes, Kovacic, Haaland, of course, you would expect. and also Josko Gvardiol, who's already scored the goal today, are all making their way into the penalty area. A number of players on the edge of the 18-yard box, Kovacic and Nunes. It's swung in, it's a poor corner, and it's headed out by Fernandez, but Grealish picks it up again. He might have another bite of the cherry, plays it short this time, and here's Kyle Walker. Back to Mateus Nunes. Nunes dropped back into the centre circle to Kyle Walker. Across there to Ruben Diaz. Manchester City looking very short. Oh, it's a terrible pass! And here's an opportunity now for Amad Diallo. Can he get a shot away? He goes down. That's surely a penalty. It is! And it started with a terrible back pass from Nunes to Amad Diallo. The goalkeeper came out, and the challenge was by Mateus Nunes, who gave away the penalty and brought down Amad Diallo, and Manchester United have a penalty. And let's take a look at this. Mateus Nunes, terrible ball back. It was picked up by Diallo, just ran it too wide initially, but that is a dreadful challenge by Mateus Nunes, right into the side of Amad Diallo. Amad Diallo was at a very tight angle. He didn't need to give that away. It was not likely that Amad Diallo was going to score from there. It was at a very tight angle. But yes, he just went through the side of Diallo. And Nick, penalty for you?
Yes, clear-cut penalty, in my view. There was no need for Nunes to do that. And what's even worse, he did it on purpose. So this could really cost Manchester City the chance of a victory.
Well, he looks frustrated. Pep Guardiola just puts his head in his hands. He can't believe it. Very disappointing. It's going to be Bruno Fernandes that's going to take the penalty. And Pep Guardiola, well, he had the lead for much of this game. It restricted Manchester United to only one or two opportunities, but two careless errors, really, by Mateus Nunes, could give Bruno Fernandes the opportunity to score from the penalty spot. He's not always 100% reliable, mind you, and Ederson is pretty good at saving penalties too. Let's see how this goes. Fernandes steps up. Ederson on his line, trying to make himself big. Fernandes, calm, composed, steps up to take the penalty, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. Penalty down the left-hand side. Ederson goes down the right. It's 1-0, and it's Bruno Fernandes on 88 minutes from the penalty spot has levelled it up in the Manchester derby at the Etihad Stadium. And Nick, would you say that's a fair situation right now?
I have to say that was a really good penalty taken by Bruno Fernandes. Oh boy, this is going to go right to the wire now.
Well, Bruno Fernandes scored as Manchester City prepare Savinho for coming on. And I'm going to be asking you for your player of the match in a moment, Nick. So if you haven't already informed Ross, you might want to do so. It just sent the goalkeeper the wrong way. It was a super penalty. Not the way usually Bruno Fernandes takes penalties. But he sort of shrugs his shoulders at the Manchester United fans. Not sure what that was all about, but Mateus Nunes looks devastated, and well he might. The game is back underway, and it's cleared downfield, looking for Erling Haaland, as Manchester City now looking to perhaps get a lead again. And Manchester United now, they just play the ball back to the goalkeeper, Andre Onana. Ilkay Gundogan has gone off and Savinho is on. So that is the third substitution for Manchester City, as it's picked up by Maguire, and he delivers the ball there to Diogo Dalla. Dalla back to Fernandes. Fernandes drops the ball back. As we've had a comment in the comment section, we're going to go to that in a moment, but the ball is played through to Diallo! Oh, is he going to score? Oh, he has! It's the winner! It's possibly the winner! Diallo with the goal for Manchester United! And would you believe that? It was an innocuous ball forward, Diallo stretched out and lifted the ball around the goalkeeper, Ederson, and just rolled the ball into the net. This is unbelievable. What a fantastic finale we have here at at the Etihad Stadium. Oh, Manchester United have stolen at the last. It's Amad Diallo's goal. We'll wait and see whether VAR get involved, but oh, look at the face of Pep Guardiola. He looks absolutely sick. Nick, talk us through this goal, my friend, while I catch my breath.
Amad Diallo, just amazing. He certainly made up for his earlier missed attempts. Just lobbed it. Just lobbed it over his head, like just lobbed it momentarily. Then he caught it again, and it was just sent straight in there. That could well be the match winner, and I just saw Ruben Amorim jumping up and down.
Oh, that was just a superb finish by Amad Diallo. Look at this. He just flicks it over Ederson. He's still got a little bit to do at that point. He tucks it in on the volley. Didn't catch it right, but it was enough. And Manchester United have stole it at the last. Oh, what a fantastic finish we have to this game. There's going to be 5 minutes of stoppage time, and I am going to be... Amad Diallo now is coming off. I'm not sure who's coming on, but they celebrate with Amad Diallo. And I'm trying to just see who is coming on for Manchester United. We're going to take a look in a moment here. My goodness me. What a finish. It's Victor Lindelof who's come on to add some defensive stratagem to manage this game out, but the ball is played long, looking for Diogo Dalla, and now Dalla flicks it away from Kyle Walker, and Manchester United, oh, this is incredible stuff. It didn't look like Manchester United were going to score at this point, but they have got two in the space of a couple of minutes, and this game has turned on its head. And here is Mateo Kovacic now for Manchester City. They're really going to have to show some urgency now, the Sky Blues. Otherwise, they're going to lose this Manchester derby at home. And here's Jack Grealish. We've had 2 minutes of stoppage time. And the ball is played forward now to Phil Foden. Nipping in and making a challenge there, well, is Manuel Ugarte. The ball is played forward, and that's good play by Victor Lindelof, just getting ahead of Erling Haaland and reading it very, very well, as Manchester City facing a record that is 1 win in 7 in the Premier League. And you can see the looks on those Manchester City faces. They look devastated in the crowd. And it's headed out again and cleared away by Kobe Mainoo. Picked up by Anthony. It just goes out of play off Anthony. It's going to be a throw into Manchester City. Nick, please give me your player of the match.
My player of the match, as sponsored by Commentary Services, is Lisandro Martinez. We've been singing his praises throughout the commentary. So good in defence, and he's even assisted a few players going forward. He has definitely earned his money tonight. So my player of the match is Lisandro Martinez.
Lisandro Martinez, man of the match, and it is back with Kyle Walker. Here's Savinho again, and well, City now desperately looking for a way through. And this all started with 2 dreadful errors by Mateus Nunes, and it's finished with not finished yet, but finished with Manchester United grabbing a 2-1 lead. Here's Xerxes, drops the ball back there to Lindelof. Lindelof goes back to the goalkeeper, and it's cleared downfield by Andre Onana, headed on there by Ruben Diaz. And here's Savinho. Savinho now just holds the ball up. He's got 3 surrounding him. He drops the ball back to Foden. Time ticking down. There's a minute of stoppage time left. What a finale we've had here at Old Trafford. Is there one more twist in the tail? As the ball is played down the left-hand side to Jack Grealish. Grealish swings the ball in, and it's headed out of play for a corner by Victor Lindelof. We are inside the last minute here at the Etihad Stadium. And, well, he can't believe it, can Pep Guardiola? And, well, he might not be able to. This one is swung. It's a terrible corner by Grealish, and it's headed out by the man of the match, Lisandro Martinez. It's a corner. It's a throw-in now for Manchester City. Taken quickly, swung in again by Grealish. A little bit better, but headed out and cleared away by Kobe Mainoo. And under pressure there, Anthony is putting... just trying to see who that was. That's Bernardo Silva down there. And the ball is played forward long, but that'll be comfortably taken by Andre Onana as he just collapses and falls on the ball, and will take all the time in the world now. As there's Amad Diallo's goal, a superb finish. He just flicked it over the goalkeeper and then caught it on the volley. Not perfectly, but it was enough to roll into the back of the net. And Manchester United, well, it looks like now that they may be coming away from the Etihad with the 3 points and the victory and bragging rights today. But we'll see. Is there still time for Manchester City? The ball is played long, looking for Jack Grealish. Grealish brings the ball down. He's under pressure here by Euro. And it's now back with Grealish again. Here's Kovacic. Good ball, quick passing by Manchester City. Phil Foden is challenged. And another good challenge there. And here's Joshua Zirkzee for Manchester United. He's going forward now, trying to take the ball away into the corner flag is Zirkzee. They've played the 5 minutes of stoppage time as he's going to take the ball into the corner flag. It's a good challenge by Kyle Walker, and that's full time. And Manchester is red this evening with 2 goals in the last couple of minutes of the game. A penalty by Bruno Fernandes and a goal on the 90th minute by Amad Diallo. Nick, give us your thoughts on what has been a spectacular Manchester derby.
Well, it was certainly spectacular within the last 15 minutes, and Amad Diallo, the hero of the hour, he was in tears when the final whistle blew. You could see how much this meant to him. Red is one of the traditional colours of Christmas, and Manchester United have certainly lit up the Etihad tonight.
Well, just had some comments in the comment section. Media Radio Jingles and Gaming says, what an end to the match. Chris Unwin says Ahmad had to do a late goal to save it for United. That must be it for City in the Premier League title. I absolutely agree with you there. What a game, and Manchester is rightly red. Well, that was a superb game of football. I think we've been treated to a fantastic finale. And Ross, back to you, my friend.
Thank you very much, Paul. Absolutely fantastic coverage today from yourself and Nicholas this afternoon. What has been a fantastic 195th Manchester derby in the Premier League. We'll recap here all of today's scores in just a moment or two, and then we'll get the quick brief thoughts of both Nick and Paul very, very shortly. And Chris Unwin is I'm just rewinding my mind when Ahmad saved it for Manchester United in the FA Cup quarter-final against Liverpool, which he did that day, and I think he's just saved it here as well, because with them we decision to win the penalty, his moment to win the penalty, and then to score that winner, fantastic. I do not know how he managed to get it in from that tight of an angle at the end. Today we'll give you the full-time scores from all of the games that took place so far in the Premier League today and the weekend so far, with 2 games in the Premier League to come a little bit later on before we do wrap up in around about 10 or so minutes time. So I'll quickly run you through today's scores. In the Scottish Premiership, Kilmarnock 1, Hawks 0. In the English Championship, Watford 2, West Brom 1, Norwich 1, Burnley 2. Women's Super League, Everton 2, Man City 1. Aston Villa 3, West Ham United 1. Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 1. Liverpool 0, Arsenal 1. In the Women's FA Cup, Ipswich 1, Bournemouth 0. Oxford 2, Bristol Rovers 3. Kidderminster 0, Blackburn 4. Scottish League Cup Final, after extra time, Celtic 3, Rangers 3. Celtic win 5-4 on penalties. English Women's Championship, Bristol City 5, Durham 0. Birmingham 0, Charlton 0. London City Lionesses 3, Southampton 1. Sunderland 2, Portsmouth 2. In the Scottish SWPL, which is the Women's League, Glasgow City 3, Rangers 0. Queen's Park 1, Dundee United 2. Hibernian 4, Motherwell 0. Spartans 0, Arts 2. Partick Thistle 3, Montrose 3. Spanish La Liga. Atletico Madrid 1, Getafe 0. Alaves 1, Athletic Club 1. Half-time scores. Real Sociedad 0, Las Palmas 0. Villarreal 0, Real Betis 1. And this evening game is Barcelona against Leganes. In the German Bundesliga, Heidenheim 1, Stuttgart 3. Dortmund 1, Hoffenheim 1. And currently 5 minutes on the clock. Leipzig 0, Frankfurt 0. Italian Serie A. Lecce 2, Monza 1. Bologna 1, Fiorentina 0. Parma 2, Verona 3. Como against Roma latest score 0-0 with 15 minutes left to play in that one there. In the Dutch Eredivisie, Utrecht 3, Go Ahead Eagles 3. NEC 1, Sparta 1. FC 20 2, Groningen 0. Ajax 3, Almere 0. NAC vs AZ Alkmaar, evening kickoff at 7 p.m. UK time. French League 1, Montpellier 2, Nice 2. Brest 4, Nantes 1. Le Havre 0, Strasbourg 3. Rennes 2, Angers 0. Evening kickoff PSG against Lyon at 7:45 this evening. We'll bring you the full classified check from the English Premier League just before we finish today with the scores from the weekend so far in the Premier League this evening. And we'll also bring you up with the Premier League table with 2 games left to play this weekend. Well, 3 games left to play this weekend, 2 left to play this afternoon. We'll get the thoughts of Nick and Paul in just a second. Media Radio Jingles and Gaming says, what an era for Manchester United. Ahmad is to say right at the end for United to win it and beat City in the Manchester derby. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely then. Nick, I'm going to come to you first so Paul can still have a bit of time to get his breath back. Nick, just talk us through that game. And do you think on the basis of the second half, Manchester United deserve to win that game today?
Yes, absolutely, and I have to eat my words because I did say it would. It would either be the other way round or a complete draw. But no, Manchester United have completely defied expectations, and Paul and some of the others may well be right. That win may well have put a serious dent or even ended Manchester City's championship hopes.
If you look at it from a Man City point of view, Nicholas, where does Pep Guardiola go? Because you look at it, only 1 win in the last few matches now across all competitions. Where does he turn to now? And where does Man City turn to if they want to try and get back on track?
I would not want to think what Pep Guardiola is thinking right now. He is just sick to the stomach with what has been happening. The losses just keep on mounting up.
Absolutely. And I'm going to fetch in you now, Paul. And you look at it from a Man City point of view. Pep Guardiola must be tearing his hair out, being one up for so long in the game, and then to throw it away in what, final last 2 minutes or so in the game?
Yeah, it started really from the errors from Mateus Nunes. First of all, the back pass, and then the penalty. The back pass was really poor. And then you can see sort of as he storms in to try to win the ball back. Diallo was already at a tight angle, and the goalkeeper had come out and narrowed the angle. It was not likely he was going to score from there, but he gave away the penalty. Bruno Fernandes took the penalty away. But the last goal, the winner, as quality as a goal as that was, you have to question what Manchester City were doing defensively. It was just an innocuous ball forward, and it seemed to split the entire Manchester City defence. And it was such great improvisation from Diallo, such quality play. He just lifted the ball over the goalkeeper, went round him, caught it on the volley and put it in the net. I mean, wherever you get your highlights from, watch that tonight. It was a quality goal, but you really have to question Manchester City's defence. And for me, their title hopes are done now. It's and by the way, there's no guarantee that they're going to finish in the top 4 this year. So this is not just the title done now. Top 4 will be a battle for them. It won't be easy.
Yes, and one thing I was just about to ask you as well, Paul. There's been a lot of questions over Pep Guardiola, the Manchester City manager, potentially being under pressure with only one win in the last few matches across all competitions, including Europe as well. Do you think if City don't get through in Europe, or at least get a playoff spot in Europe, and finish outside the top 4, maybe say lower end of the top half of the table, we could see the end of Pep Guardiola this season at Manchester City?
No, absolutely not. That would be an idiotic thing to do. Pep Guardiola has proven himself to be a superb manager. A manager of there is nobody better out there. Who are they going to hire that's better? There's nobody better. There's nobody they can hire that's better. He will. I believe Pep Guardiola will fix it, but there's obviously something going on at Manchester City that needs resolving right now in order to get this team functioning again.
Be interesting to see what that is, whether it's a tactical tweak in the way it's set up, or changing personnel, maybe taking out some of his star players who are not performing and fetching some of the younger and upcoming fresh blood from the academy potentially, or even buy some players in January. It'd be interesting to see where City go with that one. Let's recap the day's big news in the Premier League, and I'm just going to get your thoughts on this as well, Paul. Wolverhampton Wanderers parted company with Gary O'Neill and his backroom staff this morning. He arrived just 3 days before the start of the 23-24 season, so last season, and guided him to a successful campaign. During that season, they beat Manchester City, won at Chelsea, Tottenham, as well as West Brom in the FA, in a journey to the FA Cup quarter-finals. Their chairman Jeff Shea said, "We are grateful to Gary for his all his efforts, dedication and hard work in his time at the club. We wish him and his team all the best of luck in the future." We also have the potential closing in on a new manager there, with Vitor Pereira currently managing Al Shab in the Saudi Pro League. Looks like he may be the new manager coming in and Molineux. Do you think it was the right decision to get rid of Gary O'Neill?
Well, I think they had to do something. They've been slipping down the league like a stone. They need to give the new manager time to get in and have a transfer window to try to correct things. But Wolves can ill afford financially to go down. Nobody can. Nobody can afford to go down financially at the moment. So Wolves want to avoid that. So if that means they have to replace the manager and get somebody else in, so be it. That's the sad state of football right now.
Absolutely, Paul. Absolutely. Thank you very much. We'll bring you now the recap of the weekend's games in the Premier League. Starting off on Saturday afternoon, Arsenal 0, Everton 0, Liverpool 2, Fulham 2, Newcastle 4, Leicester City 0, Nottingham Forest 2, Aston Villa 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Ipswich Town 2. We saw Gary O'Neill, as I've just mentioned, sacked by the Molineux outfit. On Sunday, early kick-off, Brighton 1, Crystal Palace 3, Chelsea versus Brentford, evening kick-off at 7 p.m. Manchester City 1, Manchester United 2, Southampton versus Tottenham, evening kick-off at 7 p.m. And the Monday Night Football, Bournemouth against West Ham United, 8 p.m. kick-off on Monday evening. Let's bring you the table now in the Premier League, and we mentioned about potentially Man City not getting a top 4 spot, just a point outside of the top 4. Currently sitting at the top of the table, Liverpool on 36 points. Chelsea can close the gap there to just 2 points if they were to win today, following Liverpool's draw against Fulham yesterday. Arsenal into third now, Nottingham Forest 2 points behind them after they drew yesterday in the Premier League for Arsenal. Nottingham Forest into the top 4 with a victory over Villa yesterday. Man City now in 5th from their defeat to Manchester United. Aston Villa in 6th. Bournemouth in 7th. They're playing on Monday Night Football. Fulham up to 8th with their draw against Liverpool. 10 men Liverpool. Andy Robertson sent off in the first half in that game. Brighton into 9th after their defeat to Crystal Palace. Brentford in 10th in the Premier League. They take on Chelsea this evening. There, let's take a look at the bottom end of the Premier League table as well in a moment, shall we? We'll get the bottom half of the Premier League table for you to give you the bottom half and let you know where the rest of the teams are in the table. So in 11th, we've got Newcastle on 23 points, level on points with Brentford. Manchester United up to 12th now after their victory over Manchester City. Late victory, should I say, against Manchester City. Their Tottenham are in 13th. They could climb back above Manchester United if they were to beat bottom of the table Southampton this evening. West Ham into 14th place. Crystal Palace in 15th after their victory earlier over Brighton. Everton in 16th on 15 points following their draw against Arsenal yesterday. Leicester in 17th, having been thumped 4-0 by Newcastle yesterday. Ipswich in the bottom 3 on 18th on 12 points following their victory over Wolverhampton Wanderers. Second win of the Premier League season there. Wolves in 19th, as I mentioned, lost to Ipswich and sacked Gary O'Neill. And then Southampton, bottom of the table, they take on Spurs this evening. They're currently on the 5 points. So even if Southampton were to win, they would remain bottom of the Premier League table. That's all we've got time for this afternoon on the coverage today. Thank you to Paul and Nick for excellent coverage on the commentary, and thanks to you at home for listening to our coverage today as well and getting in your comments throughout this broadcast. We'll be back shortly with more live coverage from European matches and Premier League games and more football like that. But we may not be back on the main channels until on these 3 channels, commentary up, Some FM, or focus on football until Boxing Day. So if we're not, just want to say on behalf of myself, Paul, Nick, and everybody at the commentary hub, we shout out to listeners a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. From all of the team here at the commentary hub, thank you very much for listening. We'll see you again soon. Take care. Goodbye for now.